Hi, this is Benjamin Bernstein with astroshaman.com doing another of my videos, and that was astroshaman.com in case that wasn't super clear. So I wanted to talk about the power of manifestation and what you're saying coming into reality. I had a really interesting experience this morning. I was sitting at my shamanic mesa with my beloved twin flame Mikisela. And as usual, when we sit there, we were calling in dozens of allies that we always call in from many different spiritual traditions and paths. And a call-in can sometimes take 8 or 10 minutes because there's so many beautiful beings that we call, and the energy just gets so sweet as we call them all in. And for a while, I'd been noticing that when we were calling our power animals, she was being really specific. When I would call mine, I would just call dragon, jaguar, etc. Just the plain animal. She was calling like black bear, black snake, because she had actually seen a black bear and a black snake out in the physical world, and she was calling them because of what she had seen. And we got to that point of the call-in, and I said, just as a thought, I'm concerned that if you call only black bear or black snake, you're only allowing a small part of that power animal to come to you. What if there's other aspects of bear or snake that could help you, but they're not black? And I said, it kind of ties into a principle that I've worked with for a long time. You don't tie God's hands. You leave the divine as much access as possible to give you help. And she said, interesting. And I said, well, try it. Try calling just bear or snake and see what happens. And you can always go back to calling the black versions if you want. And so she did call them in. And then after she called those in, just to lighten the mood a bit, I then called, I usually call dragon, but I called red striped plaid dragon. And then we both burst out laughing. And, I was just being really silly, just going over the top on being super specific with a type of thing called in, just to kind of lighten the mood a bit. And we both had a good laugh, and then we continued our call in. And got to the end. And I was amazed. I should mention we both have inner sight, so we can see and or feel the beings we're calling in. And in fact, when we call in, we wait until we actually feel the presence of that being before we call the next one. And what did I see fluttering in toward the end of the call-in but a red striped plaid dragon, etheric. Now, none of these things come physically, but here comes the dragon. And I see it sort of it's not real steady, but just sort of a small, kind of wandering around in the air kind of dragon. And I looked at it, I said, oh my gosh, you came. I said, I was joking. Please go ahead and leave. And I'm sorry, I didn't actually mean to summon you. I was kidding. But even though I had called it in jest, it actually came in the etheric world. And it really surprised me. And, it wasn't a big deal. I don't think we had a serious issue because of that. It left right away, and our container still felt solid and sealed. But wow, even in jest, I called something and it actually was created into form, at least into etheric form. So obviously, if you're sitting at a shamanic mesa and you're working with, significant power, you do have the ability to manifest much more powerfully than in normal circumstances. But what this showed me as a reminder is we're all manifesting all the time. I've known for years as a shaman that we live not in the solid physical world it looks to be, but it's a hologram. And as a hologram, it is shaped by our thoughts. So the teaching I wanted to give after my little story here is just really watch your thoughts and know that the habitual thoughts you think, whether you're super aware of them or not, are always, radiating out to the hologram and showing the universe what you want. And whatever your dominant thoughts are is what you're creating. So if your thoughts are dominantly positive and mostly you're thinking about, wonderful, fulfilling, awesome realities, then that's mostly what the universe will bring you. But if you're stuck in negative thought loops and, going down these negative rabbit holes just habitually, even unconsciously, then that's mostly the energy you're radiating out, and that's mostly what will come back to you. So I just invite you as a test. You know, if you observe that there's a certain negative thought that keeps arising in your field, and that negative thought seems to be correlating with a comparable negative reality out in your life, then start becoming aware of when those thoughts arise and start choosing a different thought. There's a technique called the pivot, where you think the positive opposite of something. So in my silly case, if I don't want a red plaid striped dragon, or whatever I call it, then I might just call, dragon. And then I would get the full beautiful archetype. Or I could call black dragon, or, green dragon, or whatever kind of dragon I wanted, to give a, shamanic example. But if you're constantly thinking thoughts of poverty and, insufficiency and where's the next, rent check coming from, then just start visualizing abundance and seeing yourself comfortable with money in the bank and living the lifestyle that, you actually want to have. So this is basic law of attraction 101. In fact, if you want a little more on law of attraction, on my site, astroshaman.com, there's a search box in the upper right corner. And if you type law of attraction made simple and search that, there's a little post with a guy with a magnet in his hand. And then you can read just a very basic way to start calling in things into the physical world. But that was more of a tangent than my main point. The point is just watch your thoughts. And if the thoughts you're holding are not what you actually want in your life, or they're making you feel bad, then try to be enough of a witness that you can create the positive thought instead. So that's what I wanted to get out with my silly little dragon example. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to astroshaman.com. I do astrology and shamanic healing and life coaching and awakening activation, and you can learn more about all that, plus access tons of free information and stuff on astroshaman.com as well. Thanks for watching.